Alright, we are going live. Move this over. There we go. Alright, just get everything squared away. Getting some testing done to make sure everything is working. Alright, so that's working. Let's go to Twitch and confirm this is working. Alright, we are up and running. We are good. Alright, I think we are good now. So, welcome to Texas. So, after last race, basically, we have decided to tweak the race a lot less. So for Texas, I didn't tweak almost anything, so it should be interesting. So we will be doing 100 laps, 101 laps at Texas. We're at 30%, and then we are at three times the pit stop frequency, so there should be a couple of pit stops. So we'll see what green flag or yellow flag they are. We're at 110% difficulty, and let's get this started. Hopefully I got all the new drivers in. I know we have multiple. Let me go ahead and turn the volume down on my end. I know we have multiple new drivers, which is definitely good. So, looks like Adams and Gonzalez got the pole, with Bowers and then Yates towards the end. So, got a few new drivers towards the front. Go ahead and fast forward.
Driver.
See what we can do. Alright, just making sure. Yep, everything, all the cars look like they have started. So that is definitely good. So here is our starting or pole sitters. So we have the 14 in Gonzalez and the 23 of Adams, and then right behind them we have Cargo in the 54 and Sheets in the 31, and then Pitch and Ward for the top few. So here comes the cars for the green flag. It looks like Adams got a great push or great start on there. Look like a little push from Cargo in the 54. And is starting to pull away as multiple cars behind him are battling to try to get to that second place. So we're still stacked up behind Adams in that 23 car, though it looks like Cargo did get a push from the 10 of Ward. It looks like the 15 and Ward are getting pushed up, but it looks like Cargo in that 54 is staying with them. It looks like the 10 and the 15 were going to be able to pull away, but it looks like the 15 does not want to help the 10 at all and just goes 3 wide for third or second place. You'll see as the 15 does have the inside line. That's usually the better line in most of these tracks, as the 80 is coming along too. As it looks like Ward got into the wall, and there's a huge crash in the back. We'll have to see what happened, but it looks like Ward just got into the wall. And that takes out a ton of the top drivers. We'll go ahead and pause this and see basically what happened. All right, so 10 is coming out of that small corner, and he looks like he just gets into the wall, leaving no room for cargo to go. Slams into the 0. Yeah, she didn't really have anywhere to go, and he goes right back into the wall. And you can see Guerrero and King in the 18 and 20 just trying to get out of the way. And it looks like the 31 of Sheets just gets in, just is in the way, comes down and hits the 3 of Walker Jr. Walker Jr. slams hard into him. Nowhere for him to go. And then, yeah, Emerson and the 84, who is just not having a good season, cannot stay clean, comes in and slams into the side of him. As you can see, the LEDs on the fence are telling everybody to slow down. It looks like Weber, looks like there's 2 cars of the in Team Weber that got into this. As yeah, there's just nowhere for anybody to go. The 25 slams hard into the 33 of Weber. Then the 38 of Parker also gets into this. The 22 of Martinez. So it does look like it was a pretty big crash, taking out multiple top drivers. Guys, you can see the 10 of Ward basically just gets into the wall and causes this wreck right here. And then just as cars are coming, there's just nowhere for really anybody to go. There was a big pole in the way, but as you can see, just the smoke is just everywhere. And it just kind of gets like a domino effect, and everybody gets hit hard. We will definitely have to see what happens through there. It looks like still a few cars are coming to the start and finish line. Definitely an interesting start to this race. Definitely not what some of these drivers wanted. As you can see, the smoke coming out of Emerson in the 41. He's a 41st position. He's 84. As dang, he just has not had the greatest season so far. He started a little bit later. The team started a little bit later, but he ended up in multiple wrecks throughout this whole season. And of course, Ward, who really started this, probably not going to be back in the race. As we see Cargo as well, who has a ton of front damage. So we'll definitely see what goes on. As you see multiple cars with some front end damage, back end damage. So I know there's going to be a lot of... Oh, 24 hitting the 7 as he's getting out of the pit. As his pit stop. Here's a 14 and the 0. Oh, 14 almost takes out. I don't know how he's sliding in there, but hey. It looks like Bishop seems to stay out, at least for that time, just to lead a lap, it looks like. We're on lap 5 of 101. Now, for this Texas, I did not mess with the INI file almost at all. I didn't mess at all with the drafting distance. So it's definitely, I was all on the number 10. I think he went too hard into that corner and just tapped the wall and then just started. Hopefully the only big one. It looks like Cargo is coming back out into the racetrack. We can take a look, see who officially pulled out of the race. So it looks like Yates, Emerson, and Ward all pulled out of the race, and Cargo is one lap down. So it looks like Walker Sr. and Guerrero are all back on the track with their modified cars. We'll see how well Walker Sr. And Guerrero in this 18 are going to be able to compete. And it looks like Sheets as well. And it looks like the O'Brien 55 also has some front end damage, but was able to get back out pretty quickly. So we'll definitely keep an eye on Bishop in the 12 as well as the 31 to 16, as it looks like they opted to stay out onto the track and may not be pitting this caution flag. So we have one more lap left to go, and then we will be back at Texas. And we're lap 7 of 101. Hopefully it is less eventful the next couple of laps. We'll see what drivers decide to make a mistake, as this crash was caused by the number 10 Ward. Looks like he was just driving too hard into that corner. So as we see Cargo in the 54 basically trying to get his lap back. He definitely is a faster car. He, I think, qualified 4th place, so he definitely has a chance to get his lap back, especially because I believe he has fresh tires, and number 12 has tires that are about 7 laps old. So we'll see what Cargo in that 54 ends up doing. As we have the pace car going into the pits, and 12 in Cargo. Cargo definitely has a much slower car, so it must have hurt his car a little bit with that crash. As Cargo in the 54 definitely is much slower than he was earlier in this race. It looks like there was a couple of cars that did not get a great start. As we see the 9 in the 13th position trying to pass the 56. He has that inside line, and it does look like he is going to be able to pass him. As he completes that pass and moving to 12th. We have a 3-wide battle for the lead between Adams, Hanna, and the 12 of Bishop. Looks like the 23 of Adams has help by the 15, which is going to push him up. But they almost touch the 15. But it looks like these two, 23 of Adams and the 15 of Grubb, are going to get past. But Grubb now decides he's going to go for the lead, because there's nobody around right now, though. Hanna, I think the 16 is the one that's going to be able to choose who gets to be the first, but it does look like Grubb in the 15 is going to get the lead. as he has that inside line, and here comes the 16 of Hannah as well. As he's getting, well, at least he looked like he was getting pushed by the 12 of Bishop, but it looks like maybe the Bishop car just is not as fast as he would like. As now it looks like Adams is going to make a couple of peeks, and C doesn't look like he's going to make at least not that turn. So while we take a look at some of the back cars, look at a ton of cars further in the back. Doesn't look like any real battles going on, as we have the 6 trying to pass the 5 of Williams. I mean, 6 has the help of two cars, which should be more, or should be able to help him get pushed, though. The 66 now is, ooh, it looks like barely tapping him. Hopefully he does not turn him, but we'll see. It looks like the 14 and the 66 are now on the inside as the 6 goes wide, though the 14 is looking on the inside lane. As now the 14 has decided to let them two battle it out, at least on that straightaway, as he bounces that back down to the 66 to help push him. And that should be enough for at least the 66 to get past him. And we'll see what the 66 does, as the 66 base just pulls in front of the 6 and lets the 14 get beside him. You see them entering into the corner. It's really just a race on who is going to push the hardest. Looks like the 24 is going to push the 14. Of course, with all this battling, that 5 is going to be catching up, and basically whoever she decides to jump behind may be able to get the extra little push. We go back up towards the leaders. Actually, there's a battle right here. It looks like Hannah got bumped slightly, but looks like was able to keep the speed, as Green and the 42 and then the 4 are all 3 wide. That's the top 3. It's a battle for 3rd position. It looks like looks like the 14 thought about jumping in. That was the 11 of King. Thought about jumping in to make it 4 wide. You definitely don't want to go 4 wide here at Texas. It is a wide track, but does not give you too much room. As they're still in 3 wide, it looks like the 80 of Burks now has decided to come in and try to see what he can do. It looks like the 42 was able to fight off most of them, as well as King in the 11, as they are now battling out behind him. So it looks like most cars have dropped out of 3 wide, which is definitely good for the cars behind them, as any type of 3 wide is probably going to have a crash. As we take a look at the battle for first with Grubb and the 23 of Adams, so they are catching up to Cargo in the 54. Is much slower than any of these guys, and that may cause an issue. They're definitely going to have to see if they can get him. If they bump in the back, yeah, Cargo definitely having engine trouble, just cannot keep up. I mean, Cargo looks like he's going to cause some issues, as his speed just cannot keep up. I don't know how long they're going to let him stay on the track, going as slow as he is, as he's causing just a huge amount of packing going on. I mean, we were lucky that he did not cause a crash here in the lead, as he was bumped slightly. But he's going about 173, 170, when most cars are going about 180. So as you can see, some 3 wide battling going on back here. I mean, once he hits some of these guys, there may be an issue. Here comes the number 8. Number 8 basically had to slam on his brakes just so he didn't bump into him. I mean, if he's not careful, somebody may try to turn him just to get him off the track. As, yeah, these cars are flying past him. kind of want to stay on him just to see, because I mean, at some point he's going to cause a crash. Because we have a small pack forming behind him that's basically helping the 24 and the 5. As now the 14 is basically getting stuck right behind him, which is definitely not going to make him happy. As we're watching, looks like the 22 is now the one that's going to get stuck behind him. And then now he's able to get past him. It looks like for the most part that is everybody here. As now the leaders are starting to catch up to another lapped cars. The 15 was leading for a little while, but now here comes the 4 and 23 of Adams. As it looks like the 4 is going to stay with Adams and 23, but the 15 is going to get stuck behind Walker Sr. in that damaged 1. And that damaged 1 or damaged 3 car just pulls right in the middle of everybody. That could have definitely caused some issues, but that is going to help the 23 as everybody had to slow down as the 3 jumped into the pits. And now the 23 has multiple car lengths now. It looks like this is the start of the first pit rotation. We're on lap 24 of 101. As we see, probably the next lap car is the 31 of Sheets. But we'll definitely see what is going to go on there. Yeah, so everybody's going to hop into the pits. So as of right now, basically places don't matter too much. It looks like most everybody else, looks like there was a little bit of bumping going on between the 17. Oh, and the 33 and 22 of Martinez. Yeah, hitting each other. That might have caused a caution to come out. Yeah, caution is out. Just scroll through. It looks like it was because of Martinez. Just go ahead and pause this. I don't know why I'm pausing it. Ticker's not even working. Not sure why it's not working, but I'm not going to try to fix it. At least not right now. Yeah, so it looks like Martinez had to basically slam on his brakes as the line was forming. So that was 100% Martinez's fault in the 22. He definitely should have slowed down. And basically the 33 of Weber just comes in just not having a good day, Weber. And then as Martinez is trying to get back into... get into the pits, the 90 comes along, and I guess his spotter just was not telling him what was going on, and barrels hard into the 22, which is definitely not what the 22 wanted. That is definitely going to hurt his car. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on him for the rest of the race. I don't believe that may have ended his competition today. As now everybody is going to have to get into either pits. So it's going to help a few of the cars that stayed out and hurt some of these earlier cars. Well, it looks like mostly everybody is now just sorting themselves out. Parker in the 38 could have definitely ended his day right there. As you see some back end damage on that 68 from that little incident we had earlier. As you see, the 38 is definitely speeding around this track. He definitely wants to get back to racing, as probably everybody's going to come back into the pits. At least the ones that have run a couple of laps. Lucy Martinez has some back end damage from that hit by the 90. So he's definitely not having the greatest race today. I think he was trying for a pretty good race, but ends up having to get some body work done. As we see Walker Sr. in the 3. And we can go ahead and take a look. Looks like there's a ton of cars that are lapped down. We'll see what happens when they pass the line. Everything gets updated. We can take a look. It doesn't look like anybody pulled out of the race from that incident. Though you see a ton of the cars that were in that first incident in the back. But they're still only a lap down, which is very surprising, especially for Cargo, who was going so slow that entire race. So it looks like Hannah is the last one, but we'll see once they pass this cross this start and finish line and see where everybody is. So yeah, it looks like that start, and let's see, who is 97 is supposedly in the lead. So this guy who's like in the middle of the pack is supposedly in the lead. So yeah, definitely when the cautions come out in the middle of a pit rotation, definitely has some issues with figuring out who's where. We will see what is going on once we go back to green, as we're on lap 28 of 101, so we still got a while to go. As we see 90 with a heavy front end damage, I doubt he's going to be able to keep that position. No, Guerrero and Sheets both have heavy damage, but they are in the top 10. We will definitely see as we have another lap to go before we go back to green and seeing if we can get everything sorted out. As we see this huge line of cars that is coming up to try to get their lap back, though technically they should have their lap back, since first place is supposedly this 97, this white car right here. Yeah, sometimes there are still some things in this game. Remember, this game is, I mean, it's close to like 20 years old. You see 23 and 6. We'll see who gets off the line quicker. And if some issues happen, since there are a ton of damaged cars still right here in the middle of the pack. Not everybody's lapped down yet. It's just that caution that happened in the middle of that pit stops. Definitely not a good thing for most of these drivers. As we see them come to the start and finish line. So 23 did get a good run off that, actually top 3. The 23, 6, and 11 all got a pretty decent push off that green flag. As you see, multiple people are just getting stuck in the back with the multiple slow cars. As you see, yeah, that damage to the 22 caused a ton of slowdown on that car. They're now already... Oh no! There's another crash. As they were coming to the line of the finish line to catch another caution. So we're gonna have to figure out what is going on. Looks like everybody's still racing back to the line. And while they're racing back to the line, let's figure out what happened. At least we got an early caution to see if we can get everything squared away. Yeah, it looks like everybody just... Yeah, because it was already under caution when it looks like the one of Walker Jr. and looks like the 56 push up into the 68 and basically turned the 05, which ends up hitting the 68 into the wall. So they were already under caution. As we see, yeah, the 05 of Bowers just can't see anything. And then as his smoke clears, there's the 68 right in front of him. Not really anything he can do. And as we watch the 54 of Cargo, who's definitely much slower, it looks like for the most part, everybody got away from there. As we scroll back, ooh, my camera. Now we just basically figure out what happened to cause the caution to start. Alright, so it looks like the 66 gets in with maybe the 17. It looks like the 66 had to slow down and the 17 just did not have enough room and clips the corner of the 66, and the 17 goes into the wall. Definitely not what he wanted to see. Looks like 66 also got into the wall a little bit, but not as much as the 17, as he's still sliding down into the track. He definitely needs to get going unless somebody's going to slam into him. Most people don't slow down too much. It looks like they all got going, but of course then another slightly big one happened. So here's everybody racing back to the start and finish. And that's where that other crash started. So definitely not what some of the drivers wanted to see. As everybody looks like, I think they're still racing. So good thing the pace car is invisible. It looks like most cars are still sorting themselves out. A few of them are still rushing or racing to get to that caution flag. As we take a look just in case there are any more shenanigans going on. Does not look like it, but there are a few cars that definitely need some work done on them. And then now as we wait, I believe some of these cars are going to be able to get their lap back. As we're down to 20 cars now that are lapped down, but we'll see what is going on. Looks like Haas in the 8 has retired, as well as the 99 of Ramsey. So definitely not what they want to see. Williams 2 laps down, and then Cargo 2 laps down as well. So a ton of cars still have some work to do. And we'll definitely have to see what everybody is going to be able to do. The Haas in the 8. You see Jarvie in the 9 is in 20th currently. We'll see once we pass across start and finish line to see exactly where everybody is. As we see the second group of cars who are getting their lap back, heading back into the pits. As we see, for the most part, looks like first place now is in the front, so we are good there. And we have at least another lap to go. Looks like we have at least a couple more cars that are going to jump back onto the lead lap. Definitely some help by this caution flag. And probably more once they get out of the pits. A little bit slow down here as the 98 seems to be going a little bit slower than he should be, but it looks like everybody is getting going. Like Hannah currently is still in the pits, as well as Williams. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on them. So we know the 8 is out, 16. We've got a couple cars that will pass him. And then Bowers in the 05s coming back out. They come around to the start and finish line, see if we get a couple more cars onto the lead lap. As this will be the final lap of caution. As looks like we have about 20 cars on the lead lap now, so still some work to do for some of these guys. As we can back up. So definitely a lot smaller line for that lap down line, but still a ton of cars here to cause some issues, which may help out some of these guys. It really depends on if they can get back onto or get in front of this 23 car. Yeah, I think that's that caution in the middle of the scheduled pit stops really messed up the lineup. So now everybody, for the most part, a lot of people who didn't, who may have either pitted first or didn't pit, or were in the middle of pitting when that caution came out, really got screwed over. As the 23 and the lapped car are gonna go see who can get a better start. As the green flag falls, it looks like both of them got basically a good start. As the 98 and the 56 right now are pushing and definitely giving the 23 a run for his money to see if we can keep them a lap down. But it looks like he is slowly creeping up to get past the 98. As you can see, the 15 is getting pushed back. Definitely not what he wanted to see, as there's a huge pack towards his back. As the 20 and the 14 almost get into each other. Yeah, definitely, I mean, it is a very large track, but there is not a lot of room to go. Especially once you exit these turns. Looks like looks like maybe the 3 was the one that was slowing them down as he's starting to trickle his way down through this pack. And back. Looks like the 3 for the most part is running just to pick up a couple of spots from cars that end up crashing out. As we see Hannah in the 16, basically using the 90 as a blocker to pass the 17. Definitely a pro play right there. But we'll definitely see if he's able to keep that position, but I mean, he definitely earned it using that blocker right there. 17 now is just speeding up to catch him. Definitely showing that the 17 is a much faster car than the 16. But yeah, definitely a smart play there to use that lapped car. So we scroll up to see what is going on in these top cars. There's a pack here for the, I guess, a mixture of almost all race or a mix of standings here. This is basically the lead pack here, which is a mixture of first through like 5th and then a couple of 20th positions. As Brooks looks like he did get his lap back, but we'll see if he's able to keep it. Though if they keep racing how they are right here, he may be able to keep it, as I don't think all these guys right here are going to be able to stay out of the wall and stay out of the rest of the drivers, especially during this current turn right here, which is a very hard turn to do when you're 3 wide. It was a 97 who was leading previously. Is now looks like he's battling out to try to get back into this race. Right now looks like Adams in the 23 has passed Sanders in the 21 for the lead again. He's definitely doing a great showing from this rookie. We'll definitely see if he is able to stay in front of this 21 car who's right behind him. And then Davis, who's in 22nd, is right there as well as Pitch, who's 3rd place. So 15, who's currently in 23rd. Definitely hoping for a caution so we can try to get his lap back. A few of these guys are as well in lap 43 of 101. We take a look at some of these cars that are definitely off the pace and who really are just racing for a couple more positions. We did see a car enter the pits. Definitely not probably what that car wanted to do. A 6 car may be having some issues, or he's just trying to get in the front. Of this starting the pit rotation. So we'll definitely keep an eye on him, as he's probably going to go at least a lap down. Doing a green flag pit stop, especially so close to a caution that really just came out. And with that, it looks like Adams in the 23 basically took the lap back from the 80 of Brooks. So he's definitely shown that he definitely has a good car today. As the 80 looks like he was bumping him a little bit. Not sure what was going on too much. But it looks like the 80 definitely is running a little bit faster. We'll see. It looks like the 23 and the 80. Oh, they bump each other, which that's going to send... That almost sent Cargo right back into the pack. And we definitely knew that that was going to happen at some point in this race, since he was going a ton slower than everybody. That definitely hurt the 23 of Adams. You see a side damage on him, and that basically gave the first place currently back to 21, and basically gave the lap back to the 80. So right now I know these top front cars like the 80, the 15, and the 72 definitely want a caution to come out really soon. Try to get their lap back. Yeah, they almost got a caution there. Yeah, it looks like there is a battle. I think 56 and the 15. It looks like it was almost a 4 wide back there as well. As we have the 72 right now leading currently. Definitely a lot of new leaders here at Texas. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on the 23, who has definitely been doing very well at this race. See if that damage to his side is going to hurt his speed at all. And right now it doesn't look like it, but let's see. As the 22, as there's a few cars now that are going to go into the pits. They definitely slow down they looks like they slow down a ton to get into the pits, and does not leave a lot of cars any room to go. As we see Pitch, who pitted super early about 4 or 5 laps ago, still in 32nd, though with the pits now starting, it looks like he may be able to get some of those places back, as he felt like a top 10 driver. We do see Adam sitting in the pits a little bit longer than it felt like he was sitting in the pits a very long time. I think they were fixing that side damage. That's going to definitely hurt him on this green flag pit stop, as he had to sit for an extra few seconds to get that damage fixed. As we see the second group of pit stop, or second group in this green flag pit stop going in. Definitely see after this rotation to see if everybody stays where they were. We see Bishop in the 12 was first place. Looks like he's going to probably give that up while he's going into the pits. But we will see that once all of the pit stops have finished. So we see Adams currently in 16th now. With Baxter, she is currently in second, though she would probably drop back a few positions after that pit stop, as there are still cars going in and out of the pits. There are multiple groups that are pitting at different times. As we see the 72 of Novik currently leading this race. We'll see once he passes the start and finish line if he is still leading this race. Alright, and he is. So right now 72 is in the lead. We can take a look. It looks like for the most part most cars are back on the lead lap. We'll see once they cross the finish line if these cars here back here are going to stay a lap down. So Cargill's still 3 laps down. I don't think he is definitely going extremely slow. So he'll continue to fall back, as we see a couple of cars did in that pit still stay one lap down, though Brooks still, looks like Brooks for right now is still in front of the leaders to Gada's lap back, but the 16 of Hannah is going extremely slow. Well, they definitely cannot let him stay going that slow. There is a caution, so Hannah must have done something. So let's rewind and see if we can find out, because Hannah looks like he spun out. It looks like Hannah was coming back in the pits, coming up to try to get back to the speed, and just did not get up to speed. And the 38, who definitely was speeding up a lot during the last pit stop, basically turned up in, or hit the 16, and Hannah basically ended up like this. Definitely great driving, staying out of that wall, though. Definitely could have been a lot worse. But this could help a few of the lapped cars that needed a caution to try to get back to the lead lap. We scroll up to see any other battling last minute lap battles going on. Looks like 80 is still trying to get his lap back, but looks like will not, at least not on this lap. Though, the 80 and the 21 almost get into it. Not sure what is going on there. Maybe just some frustration from the 80 car, just not able to keep that lap. Because it looks like for the most part everybody stayed out of trouble on that last lap, or last lap before caution. So it looks like multiple cars are going to be coming into the pits, as most of the leaders are. I think a few cars are going to stay out to try to basically get back onto that lead lap. So this caution definitely helped a few of them, as Laura on lap 58 of 101, so about halfway through. So Cargo's still racing, even though he is definitely not able to keep speed at all. And then we see Hannah right now, 16, heavy damage on the side of his car. You will definitely have to look at the replays, or the league's gonna have to look at the replays to see if he merged safely or not. It just did not look like he got onto the gas soon enough, and just pulled in before he was up to speed. As Brooks and that group is trying to basically get their lap back. Fast forward this a little bit and get back to live. It did look like Carter in that 97 did get to first place. Looks like we were a little bit further back from live, but the ticker's not working, so it's fine. So it looks like the one of Walker Jr. is going to be the inside line to try to see if he can get his lap back, and we will see if he has the speed. He definitely started his career here in ARCA off to a good start, but has had a few races where he just has not performed well. I mean, though he is still a rookie, so it is understandable, though the 97 looks like he will not give that lap back to the 1, though the 80 is right there. There is about 3 wide now for second place. Definitely see if this is going to stay clean or not, as the 21 is trying to get past the 1, and there's really not a lot of room exiting that corner. As right now there is a battle. Number 4 is leading currently, as the 21, the 12, and the 97 almost get into it. But they were able to save as the 21 basically tried to push his way through to get to second place. Currently has second place there, but the 12 is Bishop is right there. And as we see, the 80 of Brooks is right now getting his lap back, so he is just praying for another caution. As here comes the 21 on the 4. And 21 has the inside line and probably a little bit of help from draft from the 80, and is able to get past the 4. There is a great battle here for the front positions, as multiple cars here are trying to battle for first. We're on lap 65 off 101. We see a Cargo is going extremely slow, so he is going to cause issues later on. As a 17 and 18 almost touch, as they're trying to pass the 90, who's going a ton slower than they are. You see 23 currently in 12th. He was doing very well earlier in this race, so maybe that side damage has slowed him down a bit. Grubbs currently is in 20th position, as we are having a battle for the lead here. As a 72 right now is working on the 21 to try to get his lead back, as they are catching up to Cargo. Not what the 72 wanted. He had to slow down for Cargo, and Cargo is going extremely slow, basically screwing over this 97. I'm not sure why he is still on the track going as slow as he is going. I mean, he's slowed down so many of these cars, which is causing this pack right here to form. And definitely these packs sometimes do not end well, especially when you get rookie drivers here. As there's 4 wide in the back, and there they go. The 72 and the 6, and then the 4 gets in it as well as they slide down. Hopefully everybody stays out of the rest of this crash, as the 6 and 4 driving back into the track. What are they doing? And there we go. The 05, yeah, the 05 and the 72 hit each other because the 72 wanted to jump back into the track. So definitely not what they wanted to see at all. So a few of these guys definitely. So some of the drivers really are going to benefit from this caution. But yeah, basically the 72 looks like he does not get on the gas as good, and then the 6, 12, and 9 basically go in to pass him, and the 9 basically checks up, bumping into the 12. The 12 goes into the 6, and the 6 goes into the 72, and that basically makes a chain reaction. The 4 basically is an innocent bystander, hard hit in the corner of him. The 97 and 1 basically just follow their spotters through that. And basically everybody else is able to stay out of there. And then basically the 6 and the 4 decide to do basically what you just cannot do and try to drive back onto the track while they're going 30 miles an hour. And right there, the 6 should have got smashed in the front, but they were able to stay out of that. And then, of course, the 72 pulls just right in front of the 05. And that basically ends the 5 days of Bauer in his rookie race. I mean, he was not running the best, but he was still running good for a rookie in his first race. So definitely not what him and his team wanted to see, and they're definitely not going to be happy. We fast forward now to pull here, and then we can see if we can fast forward through most of this caution. Yeah, definitely do not get 4 wide on this track. As you can see, looks like a few cars may be able to get their lead or get their lap back. We'll definitely see about that as we are fast forward to see if we can get through this caution pretty quickly. As now we have 1 lap remaining. A couple lap cars are coming up to see what they can do against this 21. Who towards the end of this race has been doing very well. And then 14 of Gonzalez in his first race, he's I think he started towards the top. So it's definitely good to see that. As the 68, I don't think the 68 can keep the speed. At least he wasn't able to keep speed earlier in this race, as he still has a ton of body damage. And as you can see, the 54, everybody behind the 54 is basically screwed. As you can see right here, this entire line just gets stuck behind him. Somebody really needs to just spin him and try to take him out of the race. I mean, as you can see, this pack right here is just getting left behind. I mean, he is definitely going to cause an issue. As there's another crash. Who crashed now? I thought for a certain that somebody was going to crash up here. And is a 6 again involved in another issue? Oh, it looks like Jarvie in the 9 was involved in whatever happened up here. Oop. We take a look. Like entering the turn, 3 wide. And looks like they were about 4 wide now. Anytime you go 4 wide, bad things are going to happen. Yeah, the 56 just pushes. Just pushes up into the 9 and the 98. And then, the 98 just gets launched by the 9. And then there goes the 11 of Jay King as well on his hood. As they're just sliding. And multiple cars now are coming up going and having nowhere to go. As, Jay King in that 11 slams hard into the wall. We take a cockpit view. As Jay King, basically Jay King in the 11 was just in the wrong place in the wrong time and just gets spun as he's seeing cars just drive past him. And yeah, this is not a view you really want to see at all. As he is still sliding. I mean, he's still going 60 miles an hour. And then over he goes. And slowly slides. I mean, at least he's almost at pit road. I mean, that is a plus. Yeah, it's that, look, heavy damage on that 11. So definitely not what he wanted to do. Definitely shooting for a top 10 position as he was 6th place. Looks like it was some bumming as people are just trying to figure out where to go. Yeah, it looks like the 14 will take the lead going into that, or into this caution. Yep. Though definitely not as, though not, I don't think as bad as Phoenix yet. Now there have been a decent amount of cautions, but I mean at least what, 2 of those were just minor incidents. Yeah, it looks like they finally told the 14 that you can go ahead and go past the 21. Okay. So pause real quick. I think the stream kind of cut out a little bit. As we start looking at some of the starts, it looks like we still 16 cars on the lead lap. And everybody else farther back. I see Cargo right now 4 laps down. I still don't know how he has not been turned yet. Though definitely Mitchell and King 100% knew they were going to be out. I mean, you really can't go flipping and stay in this race. Let's see, it was a Cargo. Bauer's valve issue, but we all know what happened. He got clipped on that crash. So definitely a ton of work to do for a lot of these drivers. We can go ahead and start this race. Yeah, I was looking at the stream because I have it running on my phone. And so it basically just shows me if things start skipping. It felt like things were starting to skip a little bit. Not sure if you guys saw anything like that. You can definitely let me know to see if the stream like skipped it all. But it looked like it started skipping, at least on my end. But everything looks fine now. So right now it looks like the top, basically almost all the top drivers did not pit. So we'll have to see how that is going to help or hurt any of them. So I think everything is back now. I don't think there's any buffering anymore, which is definitely good as we are now getting a green flag. And it looks like the one got a decent run on that 14. I mean, I know that 14 right now is a rookie driver, so he definitely still learning everything. Not sure where the 54 of Cargo is, so hopefully he stays as far away from all of these guys as possible. Though it looks like the 15 is now pushing to get his lap back too. And now, for the most part, everybody here in front of that 14 is hoping for a caution. And now that 21, unless the 7's the leader. Nope, the 7 is a lap down as well. So right now, everybody in front of the 21 is praying for a caution right now. And they could get it. As the 14 is working on the 1. Trying to get past him. As now the 15 is now the lead of the lapped cars, though the 21 to 23 are almost touching. Definitely people do not want to see that because they are two of the lead cars. We are 3 wide with a lap car and then 2 cars looking for first place, as 23 has a ton of help by the 12 of Bishop. As we hit lap 82 of 101, looks like the 10 or the 23 of Adams is going to pull out the lead and basically keep all the other lapped cars back behind him. Though the 12 is right here, and the 12 looks like he is now going to lead at least this lap. So definitely a good showing by the 12 of Bishop, able to keep out of trouble, though he does have to worry about Davis in the 56, and of course Hannah jumping right below him, as we are 3 wide. Not sure if Hannah is on the lead lap or not. He is not, as everybody just working to try to get a lap back, especially in this corner, because that small corner right there and then this corner right here is one of the most dangerous corners of this track. It was a 15 and 23 looked like they were sliding off each other, but for the most part everybody has stayed clean. We have the 14 now pushing, getting pushed by the 80, who's definitely one of the fastest cars. Just got unlucky with that caution that put him a lap down, but he is definitely one of the faster cars and has been staying out of trouble, though he has been for the most part in the front of the pack this entire race. So he is currently just hoping for a caution right now, as he has his lap back, as the 14 right now is just battling out, trying to have a win in his first race. He has a ton of talent behind him, though, trying to make sure that doesn't happen. I believe Pitch right now is second. Actually, Brooks got his lap back and he's a leader. I did not notice that Brooks got his lap back. He must got a lap back in the previous caution. So now he is basically battling for the lead, which is a definite huge change in luck for him, as he's definitely been one of the fastest cars. But of course, he does have to keep his eye on all the cars behind him. I mean, he may be hoping for a crash behind him to take out a couple of these cars. Though right now it looks like the one of Walker Jr. Is basically playing gatekeeper. We'll see if anybody's able to pass the one of Walker Jr. As right now it looks like the 23 is going to try to pass the 6. He had some help by the 12 of Bishop, but it looks like the Bishop had decided to pull up to see if he's going to help out with the 6. So it looks like just the 23 and the 6 will go at it alone, though the 6 does have a little bit of help by the 1, who definitely is one of the faster cars. Though it doesn't look like he's going to have too much help with the fight with the 23, though. As you can see, who's coming? Cargo is coming in this extremely slow 54, when I believe the 80 is going to pass him pretty. Oh, the 80 is going to go in the pits. Oh, there's a caution right behind them. What happened here? I think there was a car trying to get into the pits, and they're still crashing. No spotters telling anybody that there are cars sitting in the middle of the track. As we see the 4 engine gone. We're right here, right in front of the start and finish line. So a massive crash right here. as we try to see what happened. It looks like it's the 6. Oop. Actually, it looks like 2 crashes at the same time. Alright, so let's see what happened. So it looks like a few checkups from car. No, it's the one. The Walker Jr. slowed down to take a quick or take a late pit, causing the 56 to have nowhere to go but to turn up into the 6. I mean, the 56 had nowhere to go but up unless he wanted to slam hard into the 1. And then the 6 just was an innocent bystander and just got slammed hard into the wall. I mean, I don't know what Walker Jr. was thinking. As we take a look, see what he decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go through the pits right here and go to my pit stop. Look at that. He's like, you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to jump into the pits from right here. And then as we try to figure out what happened here, what it looks like, I mean, maybe just the 16 got a little loose and went way too high and right into the 20, and the 97 was just unlucky and right on that corner and takes the 20 hard into the wall. And then the 17, wow, 17 was able to slow down a lot, but not enough as he turns the 97. And they were basically sliding back into the courses. Yeah, the 5, nowhere to go. I don't know. I'm not sure why her spotter didn't tell her to go low. You know, I guess she was a little bit too high. And then basically the 20 is just a sitting duck. It looks like for the most part everybody is out of the way of the 20. But then as they're coming along, the 38 of Parker's right there, the 66 really nowhere to go, and then the 9 of Jarvie just slams hard into the side of 38 Parker and probably ends his day. As we see multiple more cars coming. Yeah, nowhere really for anybody to go, as there are still cars sitting in the way. I mean, a spotter should have definitely told these cars to stop. As we see the 4 just trying to make his way through. I mean, for the most part, he sliding through, and then the 55 gets him in the corner, and then there's really nothing more he could do. So the 24 looks like he was able to get through pretty good. And then the 4 is just engine's gone and just trying to slow down. Look at that! Look at that 9 car. So much damage on that car. And then these last few cars are coming through. It's like Guerrero's gone. So a ton of craziness in this race. With a second big one, and this one definitely a ton more damage, caused completely by, well, I guess it wasn't completely by the 1, but we can blame the 1. So Walker Sr. or Walker Jr. just, you know, screwed a ton of people over there. So we now fast forward so we can get back up to live. Or at least a little bit further up so we can take a look, see what happens. So yeah, we can kind of bully the one of Walker Jr., but there was a crash that started behind him as we have 6 cars on the lead lap. So this is probably the biggest issue we've had. We are down to 18 cars. Crazily, Cargo in this extremely slow 54 is basically taking positions, just moving up in this race purely by waiting for everybody to crash and move up. I mean, the 54 of Cargo was involved in one of the first crashes and has yet to be able to keep speed and has caused a few issues. But for the most part, he is able to stay ahead of all of these guys purely by just letting them crash. So we have 18. So if you are still running, you are guaranteed at least an 18th position, which is definitely good. We fast forward as we are lap 91 of 101. We have 10 laps to go. As we are on our last caution lap. So a couple of lap cars should come up for a double file restart, though maybe not. As we see the 21, who is in like 7th place? Where's the leader? The leader was Adams is the leader. It's crazy. But the 21 gets a great run off that start and is basically driving ways. There are multiple slow cars over here, could cause an issue again. The 72 looks like there may be some issues with him as he is definitely off the pace here. I know he has some back end damage, but he is running extremely slow. As a 7 and 12 almost bump into each other. Oh, they barely tap, but it looks like they were able to get past him. Yeah, so definitely some issues with that 72 car. As we see the 54 car taking his place in last place. As we see Walker Jr. in this one car, just running around like no cares in the world. We'll see if he decides to take a grass route to the pits later in this race. As we see Brooks in the lead again. We'll have to see what's going on here. As the 21 is supposedly in 7th place, and then Adams in 2nd. With Baxter, she's in 3rd. Gonzalez in 4th. Pitch 5th. Hannah 16 is in 9th. Bailey 10th. Srivastava 12th. There's a ton of cars mixed up in here. You see Grubbs 15 is 8th place. As this 80 car and 21 car are definitely going to catch up to Mr. Cargo very quickly. So that could cause an issue, though there really aren't that many cars left. So right now Brooks is leading the race, though this 21 is definitely battling to get his lap back and hoping maybe for another issue. Though as of right now, I don't think they really want an issue, as the race probably would end under caution, as we are on lap 98 of 101 and now we are on 99 of 101. So we still have, as we only have about 2 or 3 laps left. As the 21 got a good run on that 80. This is definitely not for the bad or for a position or anything, though 54 is right there and tapping the 80 on the side. does not look like it hurt him at all, but definitely been an issue almost all race. As the 80 now is coming in to see if he can take back that lap from the 21. We are lap 100 of 101. He's able to get past the 21 here. So the 21 now is going to try to get past him again. Not sure why he wants to battle, as he's not even battling for a first place finish. But he is definitely going to try to finish this race not a lap down as they come in. And 80 wins the Texas race. Like no other crazy shenanigans at the end of the race, but definitely a crazy race. Since basically the first caution, when half the people got put a lap down. But yeah, definitely crazy. So definitely congratulations to Brooks for a win. Definitely well deserved, going basically from a lap down all the way back to win. And then we have two cars, Baxter and Adams and Gonzalez, were able to stay out of trouble in their debut race, and were able to have top 5 positions. And then Bishop, who definitely needed another great race. But yeah, definitely crazy there. Pitch, Sanders, Hannah, Srivastava, Bailey, Mass, Grubb got a top 12 position. Davis, Godovic, Martinez, Walker Jr., Walker Sr., 16-17 each, so definitely good showing there, though they were 2 laps down. And then Cargo, last car on the lead lap, or still racing. And then we have, of course, the crazy amounts of cars that ended up pulling out of the race. So we had 18 cars finish this race. Definitely a crazy race, as that was race number 11. But definitely an eventful race, to say the least. I mean, definitely crazy, because I didn't mess with the INA file almost at all. So I kept like the drafting distance the same as it was, but still a very eventful race. Definitely an entertaining race. So definitely was probably fun to watch for a lot of you guys. So yeah, unless you of course had a bunch of drivers that did not finish, which would be a lot of you. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and update everything probably tomorrow, so we can get everything squared away. But yeah, that was a very entertaining race. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining me. I will definitely see you later. I'll definitely see you on Discord. So if you want to make any updates, definitely let me know. I'm going to update probably everything tomorrow. Like I said, get more new money updates. Definitely a very enjoyable race. So yeah. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you guys on the next